The Dr. Ray Podcast is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio. Here's today's monologue with Dr. Ray Guarendi.
This is one of my problems with these articles, and they're all over the place, and this is one of the reasons why parents are so insecure and nervous, and dare I say sometimes neurotic, about raising children. The article says, psychologists warn. There you are. Look out. Don't do this. You'll ruin your kid. Are they saying don't scream at your kid? Are they saying don't beat him? Are they saying don't completely ignore him? No. When we psychologists got to warn you for stuff, a lot of times what we got to warn you with is stuff that you would normally do and that many people do in the normal course of parenthood. But then we've decided this ain't good because we got letters after our name, you know. Psychologists warn these 7 nice, and they have that in quotes, phrases from parents and grandparents actually, and here is how you do it, create anxiety in kids. See, so we warn you, and then we say what you're doing, which you might naturally do, or which people have always done, and then we tell you, oh, don't you realize the deleterious effects? Okay, I'll start out kind of where now, who am I to critique an article? Well, I'm probably equal to the person who wrote the article in experience anyway. Psychologists say that the desire to protect our children and grandchildren is instinctual. Well, you don't need psychologists to tell you that. God tells you that. Human history tells you that. Common sense tells you that. You don't need psychologists say. Did you know that? It's a good thing I told you that, isn't it? That you could protect your children, because that's instinctual. Oh, thanks, Dr. Ray. So when and this is a woman named Dr. Amy, I don't know how to pronounce this, Todey, Todey. She's a psychologist. Here she says, so when we caution a child, we rush to reassure them or gently nudge them away from fear or sadness. It feels like good parenting. It feels carrying. Okay, note the unspoken. It feels like it. Unspoken is, it's not. Unfortunately, okay, here you go. Dr. Todey and other psychologists warn that these phrases we use to support kids can unintentionally, see, that's a scary word. You don't even know you're doing it. All right? This is why parents are so nervous and neurotic. It's like, man, I'm messing my kid up and I don't even know it. Can unintentionally make children think the world is more threatening than it is. Now, I agree with that part. You don't want to have a kid think the world is more threatening than it is. And if you let them watch a lot of TV, they're going to think that. And that's going to do a lot more problem than just saying these phrases. As a result, they may engage in less developmentally appropriate risk-taking and problem-solving, which can make it harder to build their emotional resilience they need to handle the things life throws their way. I got that part. The part is, our kids are kind of a little wobbly emotionally because we so much hover over them and shield them from too many things. Like I used to call it in one of my books, bulldozer parenting. That's true. But here's where I struggle with this. To avoid all that. Now, first of all, you're not going to avoid all that just by not using these phrases. That's just dumb. Psychologists share that it's best for parents and grandparents to steer clear of these 7 nice, in quote, phrases that can actually create anxiety in kids. They reveal which phrases to avoid and what to say instead, and reveal the one phrase children need to hear more often. Well, as far as I'm concerned, the one phrase they need to hear more often is, I love you. But that's okay. Let's find out here. So you ready? Here's the 7 that create anxiety. Reminds me of that old bit by George Carlin, the 7 things you're not allowed to say on TV. Well, poor Carlin, he's long since out of touch because all those things are now said on TV relentlessly. Be careful. Can't say that. Nope. Don't say be careful. Nope. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. I know you'll do well. I'm proud of you when. Now, here's the one I most disagree with. I just want you to be happy. Well, if that's the goal, you're going to miss out on a lot of things more important like virtues and contentment. You're my whole world. And this one, don't say this. You realize you're making them anxious and neurotic. Be good. Now, one could say, these are kind of fluff phrases. They don't really mean a whole lot. I know you'll do well. The kid will think, well, I don't know if I'll do well or not. You didn't take the test for me. Or I'm proud of you when. It implies, okay, you gotta achieve for me to be proud of you. I got the thinking behind all this. You're my whole world. Oh boy, they'll say that puts an enormous pressure on the kid, Atlas Shrugged with the world on his shoulders there. You're doing that to your kid. I can see where some of these phrases would be not exactly the most substantive things to say, but in terms of creating anxiety, and how often do you have to say them, by the way? If I say, be good, if I'm dropping him off at grandma's house, be good now. What if I'm implying you need to be good for grandma or else I'm going to do something about it? That could be my code phrase, right? But see, I know what they're saying. They're saying be good implies that I really don't expect you to be good, or it implies that to get my approval, you have to be good, or worse, good is a value phrase, right? You don't use value. You say it this way, have acceptable behavior, good choices. All right, let me finish it up here. The one phrase that you should tell kids, really? I'm right here with you. Well, I could see that. The kids down and out or feeling sad or unsure, threatened, bullied, whatever it is. Yeah, I got your back. I'm with you. That's great. I like that one. Like that one a lot. I'm not sure I'd say that with a 4-year-old who's melting down and kicking stuff. I'm right here with you. I wonder what they do about that one. And she goes on. She closes with this. Kids need to feel grounded in connection and attunement. Who talks like that? This phrase tells them they're not handling the moment alone and that their feelings make sense and are valid. Well, my feeling that I want to punch my brother in the head, I don't think makes a whole lot of sense. And I don't think it's valid. It's not a good feeling. Well, no, Dr. Ray, that's not what they're saying. They're saying the anger makes sense. Does it? Does anger make sense when it's based upon a situation that really shouldn't foster anger? My little sister just burped, so I'm angry at her. Well, that anger doesn't make sense there. So, this is why I close. This is why so many parents are getting so neurotic about raising kids. Because this is a classic example of all the stuff we experts warn you against. And if you don't listen to us, don't blame me if your kids are going to be on Springer. Because I tried to tell you. I'm done. And I know you folks will call in. You'll do well, and I'll be proud of you when you call in. You're my whole show. So be careful and be good. Dr. Ray.
More of Dr. Ray's Manologues can be found on his website, drray.com. Manologues, as well as full-length programs of The Doctor Is In, can be heard at AveMariaRadio.net and EWTN.com/radio.